Hello and welcome everyone to the November 6th episode of This Week in Kirkland, the official podcast of the city of Kirkland, bringing you timely topics, noteworthy news, and great giveaways. Kate Schmiett, delivered to you every single week. I'm your host, Jim Lopez, joined today by
Kate Ryan
and David Wilbrecht.
And I gave a little hint.
I'm
Kate
here
Schmiett.
too. Kate Schmiett, Environmental Education and Outreach Specialist for Storm and Surface Water on the Public Works team.
As I like to think of you all, as our very own Environmental Protection Agency. Mm-hmm. Is that sticking over there?
Oh, yeah. We talk about that. You call us that a lot, actually.
Our very own EPA. Well, we're very happy to have you back, Kate.
Yes,
We're always
indeed. Super happy to be here.
We're going to talk about a lot of things related to leaves, I think.
Lots of leaves.
But before we get into that, what are you doing for FUN these days?
For fun. I love holiday decorating, so I just turned my yard into a fantasy graveyard for Halloween with mermaids and dragons and all those.
Whoa.
That was pretty fun. And my best friend is coming up next weekend, and that's what I'm really hyped about.
So fun.
Wow.
From California. She hasn't been up for 6 years or something.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
So are you turning your yard over into like Thanksgiving stuff?
Nah, I
or,
don't really
like-
decorate for Thanksgiving.
Okay.
You got to focus on the food for that one.
Fair.
But-
yeah.
But as you roll into holidays, can you
Yeah.
keep the mermaids and dragon theme going?
Yeah, can you
I-
just give them like,
Oh.
I know
fake
some
snow?
people like to keep their skeletons up and put the Santa hat on or whatever, but I'm firmly in Christmas is Christmas and Halloween is Halloween,
Alright.
and never the
Okay.
twain shall meet
Yeah.
except in Nightmare Before Christmas.
Well, listen, we have to respect the creative process.
Yeah, exactly.
Stand down and see
Yeah.
what she comes up with.
Yeah. Hope you have a good time with your friend.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Sure will.
Awesome.
Yeah, so Kate, you're here to talk all about leaves, whether to leave them in your yard,
Yep.
Your
Free
yard.
mulch.
leave them in the yard, or whether to dispose of them in the yard waste bin.
Yeah. And we are giving away some free yard waste pickup with your solid waste
Oh, we
collection
love free
all
things.
through November. So
Absolutely.
Either
We'll
way.
hear all about how to do that.
Yeah.
All throughout November.
But before we get into all of that, here's what's going on, everyone, this week in Kirkland. With the end of daylight savings time, evenings are, Nate, they're darker.
It's the long dark, and
The
it is
long
upon
dark,
us.
yes.
We may not see the sun again for years.
And that can make drivers feel more tired than usual as a side effect. This week happens to be Drowsy Driving Prevention Week, David.
That's right.
Did you know that?
I did not know that
Yeah.
until I read the script.
Yes. So, David, what are some things that drivers can do to avoid driving drowsy?
That's right. So, generally toothpicks are not recommended.
No, that's not the preferred path.
Yeah. Despite what comedy movies would have us believe.
Yes.
But one thing to keep in mind is that fatigue slows reaction time. So that's why this is kind of a big deal. It also impairs judgment, much like alcohol. So
Yes.
if you've been awake for 18 hours, your alertness can drop to the same level as a driver with a 0.05% blood alcohol concentration.
Holy cow.
Yeah,
I
that's
believe
really
it.
good.
Science.
Yeah.
So it's important to pay attention to signs that you're tired. If you're drifting or missing exits, blinking or yawning often, or forgetting the last few miles, hey, pull over, rest up,
Yes.
give someone a call. So just keep in mind, rest first, drive alert, and please, let's all make it home safely.
Yeah. Good tips. Very serious.
No matter what that clock is saying, my body still feels
Yeah, exactly.
it's getting up an hour before my alarm. It's getting tired an
Yeah.
hour before bed. Yeah, it's tricky.
Circadian
So
rhythm.
You gotta respect that. Yep. Okay, November means that not only is it darker here in the Pacific Northwest,
Nate.
it's also getting a tad bit colder.
That's right.
And that means Kirkland Public Works crews are getting ready for winter weather. Now, Kate, what have our crews been up to?
Yeah, well, our Kirkland Public Works crews held a hands-on training day that included refreshers on snowplow operations, backhoe and skid steer maneuvering, and safe chainsaw and chipper use for clearing storm debris. When it snows or an ice blankets our roads, Public Works crews work to clear priority road routes first. So that's the main roads and emergency access routes that connect neighborhoods to essential services. Think Evergreen Hospital, fire
Yeah.
stations. The snowplow map and more information about snow response can be found on the city's website. While crews are gearing up, it's also a great time for residents to get ready at home. Make sure you have an emergency kit, know how to stay informed during storms, and have a plan for power outages or icy conditions. You can visit kirklandwa.gov/be-informed for tips and resources from our Office of Emergency Management.
Well, that's very helpful. I am not a big fan of icy roads.
No.
Just so you know.
Yeah.
I would
really
like to.
not a big fan.
I would like to wrangle in our local environmental educator here and let everyone know that this is a La Nina year, which means that our winter is predicted to be wetter and colder than normal, which increases the probability of a significant snow event. So, folks, if you're
And icy roads.
icy roads. So, folks, if you're listening to this, take this advice
Please take
seriously.
caution.
Prepare
You
yourselves.
heard it here first.
And I also want to jump in as your local public works person. Although I am not the one clearing roads, I do talk to those folks, and they would like y'all to know that sidewalks and things like that do not get cleared by public works, and of course your front walkways don't. So check in on your neighbors, maybe make a plan with them, especially if you've got an elderly neighbor that might need some help with a sidewalk getting shoveled or something like that. Good to plan ahead
Yeah.
for those things that are your responsibility instead of the city's.
That's super helpful.
There's a storm drain in
Great.
front of your house. You got to keep that clear, too.
Oh, I did that this morning on my walk with
Whoop,
Haku.
whoop.
Good
Well
for
done.
you. You're
Yeah,
a
I
good
was
Samaritan.
Like, I'm just going to
Civic
She was looking
duty.
at me like, what are you doing?
You're doing the right
and
thing.
you said, I'm doing
Yeah.
my civic responsibility.
There
Yeah,
you
she's
go.
like, give me a treat.
Yeah.
So.
And for those of you keeping score at home, yes, there are two Kates and a Nate.
That's right. And,
Two Kates, a Nate, and a
David.
And a Jim.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Jim.
James?
James.
Not everyone's
Kate,
name
Nate,
can
James,
rhyme.
and,
Dave.
It's
All
okay.
right.
You can still sit with us.
Yes. Hey, while we're talking about being safe and prepared, this might be a good time to mention that there's a free CPR class. We love free things.
That's right.
A free CPR class coming up on November 12th. What do we got?
Yeah, so when someone experiences cardiac arrest, every second counts. And did you know that early effective CPR can double or even triple
Yes.
a person's chance of survival? Critical.
Wow.
So the CPR, AED, and First Aid Basics class is led by certified instructors. You'll learn how to recognize cardiac arrest and call 911 quickly, how to perform hands-on chest compressions with proper rate and depth, and how to use an AED safely and confidently until those first responders arrive. So we'll put a link in the show note. Register today.
Yeah, thank you, David. Hey, speaking of ways to help the community, the Ignite Kirkland campaign is going on right now.
Yep, Ignite Kirkland is a community-powered, place-based giving campaign hosted by the Kirkland Community Foundation. Each fall, the foundation curates a digital catalog of Kirkland nonprofit projects, from youth programs and arts initiatives to park improvements and mental health services. And they invite the community members to explore, learn, and give. If you'd like to see your gift in action next year, well, donate this year by November 24th. There's more information about all the ways you can donate on the Kirkland Community Foundation website.
Excellent. Great stuff. So check that out. Hey, the last meeting of the Kirkland City Council was on November 5th. Here's what happened. On the business agenda, the council held two public hearings. The first was on the 2025-2026 mid-biennial budget update and the 2025 to 2030 capital improvement plan update. And the 2025 to 2030 transportation improvement plan update. That's a lot of dates.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of future planning.
Now,
there.
the second was on the preliminary 2026 property tax levy.
Exactly.
So you might want to just go check all this out.
Yeah, we got all the info's up on the website. Council also reviewed the Transportation Safety Action Plan and Speed Limit Setting Policy and provided direction to staff, and also received an update on options for draft code amendments for two community-initiated amendment requests for the Michaels and Goodwill properties in Juanita.
Yes.
And council received an update on the development plan for Houghton Village.
Yeah, good stuff. Prior to the business agenda, the study session included updates on each of the things I just discussed, the 2025-2026 mid-biennial budget and the 2025 to 2030 capital improvement plan. So that's where they got a chance to talk about it in a lot more detail.
That's right.
Before they took action. Council meetings are streamed, everyone, live on the city's YouTube channel, Facebook page, and, of course, on the city's website. Hey, we also have an important celebration coming up for our community, and I hear it has to do with a tiny red cabin.
Yep, that's right, Jim. And we're talking about that tiny red cabin by the Babbling Brook along the Cross Kirkland corridor on 6th Street.
It's like a little story.
Yes.
It's a storybook.
Yes.
It looks like
Looks
it.
like it.
Yeah.
Over in the Everest neighborhood, right? We're talking about that section. That cabin is part of the new Fisk Family Park. Coming up on November 20th at 11 a.m., there is a ribbon cutting ceremony for this new park. The whole community is invited to celebrate this new neighborhood park that's located at 212 6th Street and features a stream and natural open space. The park is named Fisk Family Park to honor James G. Fisk and his family's contributions to the community. The city purchased the nearly half-acre property in 2023, and the purchase was made possible in part through donations from the Kirkland Community Foundation,
So
which
that's really
we
great.
mentioned earlier. Yeah.
Great stuff. Hey, I love that red cabin.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
it
it's
makes
adorable.
5 of us.
Yeah. Another community event coming up fast is the annual Kirkland Turkey Trot on Sunday, November 16th. And this would be at Juanita Beach Park. Did you know that, Kate?
I believe it or not, I don't keep track of everything that happens
All right.
at Juanita Beach
checking
Park,
in.
even though I do love it.
Just
Yeah.
checking in.
Yeah, so this is a big event, and there are some road closures and detours to be aware of so you don't run afoul
Oh my
of
goodness.
traffic. Yes. Way to go, riders. And I chuckled earlier during the headline, Jim, because our listeners won't know this, but you did this sort of like little trot motion side to side, like shift with your shoulders, and
I was grooving.
yeah, you were grooving. You're like, I'm a trotting turkey. Anyway, so roads will be impacted from 9 to 11:30 or whenever the last runner is done. There's also going to be eastbound Juanita Drive from 93rd Avenue to 98th will be closed with a detour in place, so just plan ahead for that morning of Saturday. The event raises money in support of Lake Washington High School Booster Club, which is there to support and develop student athletic teams and other interscholastic activities.
Cool.
Amazing.
Hey, there are a few other upcoming events coming too. Did
November's
you know that?
busy.
November
Yeah.
is a busy event
Full-
month.
yes.
Full events.
It is. Well, we've got the Green Kirkland Partnership stewardship and restoration events that are happening all through November, including November 8th, 9th, and 15th. Check out the Green Kirkland Volunteer and dig into an event near you.
November 11th is Veterans Day, which means city administrative offices will be closed. And on Wednesday, November 12th, there's a business workshop with One East Side right here at Kirkland City Hall. If you're looking for ways to optimize the holiday spending season to build and strengthen your business, this is the workshop for you.
And a reminder,
cool.
everyone, as always, we have links and more information in the show notes for you to review at any time. And that brings us to our very special guest,
Hello.
Kate Schmiett,
Dun, 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 dun.
Environmental Education and Outreach Specialist on the Storm and Surface Water team in Public Works. That's a handful.
It is a handful.
Yeah.
The storm and surface water, we're just in charge of the water that falls from the sky, not the water that comes out of your pipes or goes down your pipes.
Can I just say
Okay.
Environmental Education and Outreach Specialist on the city's EPA? Can I just say it
You
that way?
you can say whatever you want, Jim. You outrank me.
Well, there is something to that. Kate is here to talk about leaves, how awesome they are, and what folks can and should do with the leaves in their yards. Right?
It's leaf yard season.
Yeah. There's
How
a
to
lot of
love your
out
leaves.
there.
How to love your
Ooh.
leaves. Oh.
Beautiful.
Kate, it might be helpful just briefly to remind everybody about all the amazing things you do for the city, including, I know you took me on this amazing bug adventure.
That was a good time.
Wasn't that
I'm going
fun?
to talk more about bugs today.
Yeah, you just
Get hyped.
You're a wealth of information. I'm ready.
Yeah.
So
Great.
tell us a little bit about what all the amazing stuff. you do.
Yeah.
So the education and outreach team, storm and surface water, we covered water that falls from the sky. Education and outreach, we want you all to understand what happens to it after it comes out of the sky. So that
Yeah.
includes how our stormwater infrastructure works and how you can be good stewards of it, where that water goes after it goes down the storm drain. Spoiler, it doesn't get filtered or treated. It just goes into the creeks. So how to keep the water quality in those creeks and in Lake Washington nice and healthy for our community and all the wildlife that also is part of our community and shares those waters.
As many of our listeners know, sometimes I get inspired by the conversations that we're having to create some kind of new movie or script idea.
Fantastic.
Yes.
So can I throw one at you?
Yeah, we have the same taste in movies, so
Yeah,
I
we
want to
do.
know
Yeah, so-
what you want to make.
How about if we create an animated feature of the water coming from the sky and a little bug going through the system
Oh my gosh, cute.
that both shows the adventure and like edifies folks as to what happens through our stormwater system.
Love it.
Adorable.
Well, we'll have to maybe workshop the name of our bug.
It'll be like
Yeah.
Finding Nemo, but
Yeah.
it'll be for freshwater aquatic insects.
We are on the same page, my friend.
Yes.
We
Adorable.
are on the same page.
Great
Love it.
idea, you guys.
All right, well,
Let's make it happen.
we have that out there. So, but you're here to like focusing a little more on the issue of leaves because there are a lot of leaves out there.
There's a lot of leaves,
Yeah.
and as with many things, when they're in the right place, in the right amount, then they're a great benefit to the environment. When they're in the wrong place or in excessive amounts, then they're not so good for the environment. So we're talking about how to get them to the right place so that they're not a problem and that they can help you.
Have
Perfect.
you ever raked all the leaves up into a big pile of leaves and just jumped into them?
When I was a grown-up, I finally got to do that.
Not as a
Ooh.
kid.
Not as a kid. I grew up in California. We didn't have any big trees in my yard. Well, you had a big pine tree, but you don't do pine trees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jim, I feel like it's like a very
Yeah.
New England.
Yeah, I was
sort
in
of-
New England.
Was that like a core
okay.
part of your childhood?
Well, we raked the leaves up in the yard.
Uh-huh.
We jumped in them.
Perfect.
Nice.
It was fun.
Leaves
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
here
Did you
were
ever
too
hide
wet.
in them and jump out at someone?
I think we did.
Perfect.
I'm sure we did.
Did you ever dig a hole
Wow.
and cover it with leaves and wait for someone to fall in the hole?
That I did not do. No.
Nate was
But-
the kid to watch out for.
For sure.
That's kind of dangerous. Although you don't want to jump into a pile of leaves and hit a branch or something.
Yeah,
so
totally.
not recommending it. Okay, well, the colors are gorgeous this year, but they are increasingly covering our yards, these leaves. So to start off, I'm going to reference a joke from last week's podcast that David loves and kept in the script.
It's true. It's true.
As the bard says, Kate, about fall leaves, to leave or not to leave?
So
That is the
Adorable.
question.
depends on the amount, and it depends
Whoa,
on the
yeah,
location.
jumping the gun. Great. Yeah, we were.
What's the answer to that?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
Kate, give us the answer.
To leave or not to leave?
Yeah.
Depends on the amount, depends on the location. So I'll just say, even if you do have a lawn, a thin layer of leaves actually is not going to kill your lawn. If anything, it's going to help fertilize that lawn, and those leaves will break down.
Okay.
Of course, a thick layer of leaves becomes mulch, and that will kill your lawn. But if you move the mulch to places in your garden that benefit from mulch, then
Oh,
you have
okay.
free mulch. So what I do is I rake the leaves off of my lawn into my flower beds, into my
Oh,
vegetable
nice.
beds,
Oh.
tuck in my
Oh.
veggies for the winter. Yeah.
Nice. Around tree bases? Is
Around
that a
tree
good-
bases is
All right.
perfect because if you think about it, a tree has just dropped all of its own mulch. A tree is self-mulching.
Ooh.
And we
How efficient.
take away all the mulch, and then we wonder why our trees are sad. And it's like, well, you just took away all the vitamins that I worked really hard to
Uh-huh.
build, and then I put them back down so the roots could have those, and you stole them, man. So trees are self-mulching.
Yeah,
you
that's
might not like
beautiful.
the diameter of the mulch and how much space it takes up, but
That's
if-
where rakes come in.
that's where
come
rakes
to
come
play.
in. You
Okay.
can do a little editing, but it is good to leave as much of that free vitamin material for the trees as you can because they're happy about it.
I really
Cool.
like that. Like so many things in life, the answer to the question is it depends.
It
To
depends.
leave or not to leave?
Yep. And
Yeah.
certainly if your trees are dropping those leaves into the streets, that's when it becomes a major public works problem because those leaves can block storm drains and they can decompose and make streets slippery and less safe. And you really want to get your leaves out of the streets
Yeah.
for sure. And
And-
definitely off the storm drains.
And so, folks, okay, people get a lot of leaves into their yard. They can mulch them into flower beds, things like that,
Yep.
where they don't want to have it kill their lawn.
Yep.
If they have excess leaves, then do they sweep it into the roadway so our street sweepers will pick them up? And Jim.
Jim
Ding,
knows the
ding, ding,
answer.
ding, ding. 10 points to Jim.
Well, I will say first that excess leaves, there are a lot of places in your yard that might like some leaves. I just try to move them further to different places that like mulch. And a really deep layer of mulch is better for your garden. So
Oh, okay. So just like
before you even
Mulch
get
it
to the
up.
idea of excess leaves, really pile it on and get as much free mulch as you can.
I think that's
But-
Nate's strategy, right? Nate likes
Definitely Nate's strategy.
Absolutely. With yard care, like with most things in life, less is more.
Exactly.
to well played.
But I don't like to put the leaves that have fallen in the street on my yard personally. I know some people do. That's when I opt for the compost bin. And so Kirkland is helping us out.
Okay,
With
so you have
this.
a program.
Yeah.
Okay, you've come with a program.
Yeah, I'm
You've come with free things.
repping for the solid waste team right now.
Okay, let's hear about it.
The
'cause we
solid
love free
waste
things.
team My big friend Gina Jan
Yes, she's
would
been
love.
on the show
She
many
has
times.
another podcast, frequent flyer.
Yes.
Gina would like you to know that throughout the month of November, you can place up to 5 extra bags, 32-gallon personal
Wow.
containers. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's 160 gallons worth of leaves. Math in public.
David,
Whoa,
math in public.
impressive.
Boom.
Bam.
Nice.
I hope someone like checks me and it's actually I'm totally wrong. You all are like, wow, great job. It's like totally off.
I would high five you if we were close enough to high five right now. That was
But
impressive.
please tell us about this.
So up to 5 32-gallon bags per week throughout the month of November, without being charged extra with your solid waste pickup.
Wow.
So
That's helpful.
Yeah, very helpful. A couple of favors and tips that our solid waste team would love for you to know is that those bags should be placed at least 3 feet from your other carts so that the trucks can still service your regular carts.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you have any questions about this, you can definitely, as always, contact the recycling hotline. But so that's where my street leaves are going, is into the
I
compost
see.
bin.
Okay.
And I do have a fair number of those that I have to manage to keep those storm drains clear.
These
so
programs
I know
are,
it well.
Yeah, Kate, these programs are so important because it removes the friction to doing what you might otherwise procrastinate on.
Totally.
Right? Oh, I got to do all these leaves. What am I going to
Yeah,
do?
what am I
Where am I
gonna
going to
do?
put them? Okay, go get those bags,
Yep.
set them up.
And when we say
rake 'em
bags,
up.
we mean the paper bags that can be composted, not
Yes.
the plastic bags. Leaves
Yeah.
should not
Where do
go
you
in
get
plastic
those
bags.
bags?
You can
Good
get them
point.
pretty much any hardware store.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, so we got street leaves going into the extra free bags.
Yep.
160 gallons confirmed by the calculator. And that's a week.
That's per week. So
Per
that's
week in
like
November,
Four,
so that's
four
like 4
weeks.
weeks.
That's so many leaves.
Wow, so that's like 640
That's
gallons.
That's so great.
And we're talking about like branches too. We're talking about anything
Yeah,
that is
any
compostable.
yard waste.
Yeah, yard
Well,
waste.
that's a great point, Kate.
But I do want to encourage you. Can I talk about pollinators for a second?
Pollinators,
Always.
of course.
Who doesn't like pollinators,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so if you're not convinced with leaving your leaves for the health of your plants and all of that stuff, I want to talk about pollinators because we think about supporting pollinators through planting flowers
Right.
in the spring. We
Yep.
think of all of the support we give them as a spring-summer activity, and then we kind of forget about them in the winter. But pollinators need to survive the winter too, and they need shelter to do that. So we think about the food side. We never really think about the shelter side, but that's where the leaves and the yard waste comes in. So
Tell us more.
Okay, so most butterfly species will overwinter in leaf litter.
Really?
So when you clear up your leaves, it reduces the amount of emerging butterflies in the spring by up to 45%.
Holy
which is
cow.
a really big number.
Yeah, that's a
Whoa.
big number.
Yeah, so if you're thinking like, hey, I don't see as many butterflies these days as I did when I was a kid, like, you're right. We have fewer butterflies. We have fewer
Okay.
pollinators across the board. And there's also a lot of other beneficial insects that live in that leaf litter over the winter. You got your ladybugs in there to eat your aphids in the spring, all that good stuff. So,
Well, we'll have to add that to our surface water movie.
Kate, I was just thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
my God.
Have our
Ladybug.
little bug
And
visit or live in leaves.
so smart.
So
in the winter.
smart.
You're on the production crew.
Oh my God.
Whew,
You're
phew,
in the
I was
writer's
hoping.
room.
Okay,
You're in the
good.
writer's-
I
We've
earned
got
my spot.
We've got ladybug. We've got butterfly. What else do we have?
Bees. So most native bees are ground nesting bees, and so they like to
Wow.
live in dirt, but they like to live in dirt that stays warm. And so the leaves are like a little blanket, and leaves rather than wood mulch is easier for them to kind of get through and get to that dirt. So it
sure,
gives
sure, sure.
spaces for native bee pollinators, native butterfly pollinators, native
Kate,
beetles.
This is just
Dropping the
dropping
insights.
the insights.
Yeah.
So yeah, whatever motivates you, whether it's the health of your plants or the health of the pollinators, there's a lot of good reasons to leave the leaves. I just got a
Nice.
fun sign for my yard from the Xerces Society about leaving the leaves, and I'm very excited for it to come.
Xerces Society is related to bees?
It's related to invertebrate conservation in general because we've lost just so much invertebrate biomass.
Okay. And
I think we
Xerces-
need to do a whole show on this.
I know.
We'll make a whole movie. We'll make that whole
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
bug movie.
So
Look
the
how-
movie's
look how-
basically writing itself right now.
It is.
Yeah.
Look how Kate and the people at our Kirkland EPA can take a simple action and make it just so impactful.
Oh, yeah.
Like now I
Totally.
totally want to leave the leaves
Yeah.
and have all this
And
great impact.
really.
If you're not feeling like getting them all into the bags and stuff, it always is really nice to have a fallback argument for your neighbors who might be mad at you for being a little lazy. You can be like,
Yeah.
no, it's for the pollinators.
Yeah,
Or the
I'm just
pollinators.
taking my
Taking
time.
notes on that.
Yeah. Well, and I just appreciate how, there's one thing of like, oh yeah, like get it out of the street, yeah, yada yada. But there's a lot of like science behind
Totally.
all this stuff that you're talking about. And it really does kind of feel like that EPA feel, Jim, of
It really does.
like, hey, how can we actually just do better by our
Yeah.
non-human neighbors?
Another science reason to get the leaves out of the street if you're not motivated by the flooding. If you're like, my neighborhood never floods, whatever. All those decomposing leaves running down the storm drain adds excess nitrogen and phosphorus to the creeks, and they're not designed to handle all that from all of our trees at once. So
So that then impacts fish.
that
who might-
impacts fish and everything else living in the creek. Yeah.
Okay.
So there's the
Gosh.
environmental reason for that too.
Hey.
Wow.
And if you need to learn more about any of this stuff, they can call you guys. Right?
Yeah,
Yes,
Kate,
I would love
Kate
it.
would be happy to chat with
Oh,
you.
yeah.
about-
Please let me nerd out with you. That sounds fun.
Well, we absolutely love it when you come here and nerd out with us.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Kate Schmiett, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. We'd
Thanks
love
for
to have
having
you
me.
on. Thank you for coming.
Don't forget to register for the upcoming CPR class.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, everybody, and that does it for this week. You've been listening to This Week in Kirkland. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and
Share.
Special thanks to our podcast production team for all of your magic. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Our next episode is November 13th. Until then,
Stay connected, Kirkland.